Great. Welcome, fellow Americans, back to Fantasy Baseball America 2014. We are rocking and rolling. We are halfway there. Some of us are living on a prayer. Let's get down to it. I have prepared some data that I've been collecting over a little bit of time, probably about the past 10 weeks. So here we go. We're going to have a little bit of a different format. Downloaded some free software so that we can see the data I'm talking about. Plus, you probably don't want to hear me rant for, 35, 85 minutes or whatever. So we're going to have a couple different sections. We'll go, hopefully, whatever speed. I'm going to get more drunk as we go on. I'm going to start at the bottom, and now we're here. So we're going to go top to bottom to top. Bob first, all the way up to Kevin. So, Kevin, you're going to have the drunk Vidoni. And let's get down to it. Let's take a look at the standings. We got Bob, 29 games out. Schick, 28. Ben, 23.5. Adam, 20.5. Then we got a little bit of a gap with Bill at 15. Giz at 14.5. Myself at 8.5. Stolberg at 7.5. Witrox closing the gap with 3.5. And then we got Kevin at number 1. First up, Bob Lima. Let's take a look at some of the stats that you've had over the season, over the first 10 weeks, compared to the average. And then hopefully at the end, I've got some notes here, kind of hopefully will help us out. Let's take a look. Wait, back. Consistently under average. I don't know. You were kicking it. I don't know if you had an injury around week 3 that made you drop down, but you're making moves, you're making acquisitions. We'll see what happens. Again, you see this big spike at week 2, and then down 3, 4, and then consistently under average. We're looking at a net gap of about, looks like 2 or 4. So if you can find maybe 1 or 2 players producing those numbers at an elevated rate, then we might be able to win some games. Again, with the spike in the gap, stolen bases, I mean, it's an erratic category, right? It's more about opportunity than it is about talent. Some say yes, some say no. On-base percentages plus speed equals stolen base. Looks like you had a spike at around week 3, actually, with 12, which is tied for the highest. And then you go out to week 10, starting to find your groove, maybe. But week 3 was a high stolen base week for all of us. So, kudos on you, I guess. Let's take a look at your below average. 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, you were able to exceed the average. You got to find someone. I mean, it looks like your offense is just inconsistent, dude. And I don't know what you're going to do about that. I would do something about that. What it is, let me take a look at my notes. I don't know. RBIs. That's what it says in my notes. Okay, let's take a look at your defense. This is not, this is actually normal. I mean, 5 weeks, you're above average, so, you're going to split that. Typically in the defense, you're going to want to get that ERA and that whip down. Those typically translate to wins. Strikeouts and saves are more just gravy, but we'll take a look at your saves later on here. Here's your wins. 2 times you exceeded the average. Nothing to write home about. But we're going to want to work on that. Again, as we look. Okay, alright. Before whips and ERA. What the hell here, bro? I know you spent like $0 on your defense going into the draft. And obviously it's biting you in the ass. I don't need to tell you. But you did something great with saves here. Ever since you started picking up closers, you've rated higher than the average. So good on you. Keep it up. ERA. Let's try to work a little bit higher or more on that. Again, ERA and WHIP is what we're going to want to get down there. Now, Carlos Gonzalez. What I did was I plotted the 2014 on a linear rate based on ESPN's anticipations or expectations, and then I plotted your week-to-week productivity of the most the player you paid most for in the draft. So since you paid for Gonzalez most in the draft, offenders only. I think one person paid more for a pitcher than for an offender. So offense only, paid most from. Gonzalez is tapering off, as you see with this, but hopefully we'll see that production increase here. He has bouts of offense. You look at weeks from 4 to 6, he's right along that curve, so hopefully he'll keep producing. Not home runs, though, which is where you're kind of lacking. We're going to want those home runs that drives in RBIs, drives in runs, gets that home runs. Maybe your average takes a bite, but whatever. Ribbies, out of control, dude. Out of fucking control. I don't know what he's doing, but it's working. And then stolen bases, how he's only fucking stole 2 bases a year. He needs to get up to 9. Alright? Maybe he doesn't want to injure himself stealing those bases. I don't know, whatever. And then your average here, he took a hit from weeks 1 to 4, but he's kind of trying to find his groove with those ribbies, though. You know, I'm not going to argue. So, bottom line, pick 3 and kill it. Right now, you're doing all right in some, so try to emphasize those 3. I don't know what I was thinking when I wrote strikeouts, wins, and saves, because earlier I said wins, whip, and ERA is working, so scratch that. That is moot. But you're making moves dedicated to the sport, bro. Let's go, and Gonzo is producing. Bob, you have been officially named the Rays. They're shitty at the sport right now, and got to get pretty much everything working for you. But if you do what I say, you'll get there. Drew, look at right now. You're trending upwards in offense, which is great. You've been killing it in the acquisitions, home runs. Look at these past 3 weeks here, bro. You're trending up here, and then look at this. Boom, 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 boom. You're killing it, bro. Killing it. RBI's doing the same thing. Earlier on in the schedule, that's what's hurt you. That's where you hit. You took a hit in the seasons with your losses. But right now, you're making the right moves. I don't know if you're bidding more than Bob, but you're killing it, dude. Look at these stolen bases. Again, weeks 8 to 10. Getting up there. Average, you're all over the place. You took a slump between weeks 4 to 7. But listen, this is what we're looking at, all right? You're making improvement. You're doing the right things. Let's keep it that way. Strikeouts, defense. Look how many times you're above the average. Boom, 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 boom. How are you second to last place right now? I don't know. I don't care because I'm above you. Look at your wins here. Boom, 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 boom. What I've learned the hard way is strikeouts do not translate to wins. Alright? I think I've said that before, but I'm going to say it again. And then you have Mike Trout. That was in my notes. Saves, I mean, you gotta find more save opportunities, bro. I mean, look at this. One time you had 5 saves. Other times you're at 2 or 0. I mean, I don't know what to tell you other than find save opportunities. Well, you're between 3 and 4. So if you can find a way to get 4 saves a week, which is not unheard of, you should be able to succeed. Look at this ERA. That's a truffle. You're going above it. This is one of those graph lines that you're going to want to be below. Okay? Below. You're above. Again, not good. Look at this shit. Boom. Boom. There are going to be graphs later on in this presentation where it's going to be like below here, like down in these buttons areas. So you're not killing it in the defense, bro. However, what I've realized with the 2014 ESPN expectations is I think they're set pretty high. Hanley's meeting them, or at least correlating with them. He initially started out pretty good, and then, runs kind of keep on keeping on, which is what you want. Home runs, boom, you want that good, nice escalation throughout the season. Your RBIs, hopefully this upward trend right here, weeks 8, 9, and 10, you were seeing that boost, so if you can get more of that from Hanley, more power to you. Stolen bases had a little bit of a drop here at 3. Hold on. Okay, we're good. We're good to truck. But then, again, I don't know what you did. Call Voodoo, Rain Man, Tampa Bay, Madden, whatever. But you called somebody at week 8, and it just jizzed everywhere. But your average, if you're getting that production, stolen bases, RBIs, runs, and then the home runs are kind of taking that hit, I'd settle for this average. So, Drew, let's wake down here. You're making acquisitions, a lot of moves. Put in a little joke there. You can read it. Your offense is heating up, which we've talked about. But if you can bring down that WHIP and the ERA, you'll be able to. You can make the playoffs. You can make the playoffs. Okay, you could. And of course, Hanley's meeting expectations except for his average, which we've already covered. You are the Diamondbacks, second to last place in our league, but producing? Don't know about it. Granted, you have the Giants in your league or division, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Ben. You know what? I'm going to take a break on you, Ben. I'm going to start it back up next episode.